Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to welcome everybody to tonight's edition of Bible Study. Come on in here. It is so glad to see you, Bishop. The Bishop of Twitch, One Reason, is in the room. So much love to you and peace be multiplied back to you, my brother. Flirt 9192, sis, it is so good to have you in here. Fam, we are family and I love it. I love it. I love it. And to all of you, my father's children who may not be in the chat, but you are here with us on this evening, I want to say good evening to you and welcome to the Bible study for tonight. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. And listen, I'm so glad that you are here. We are going from Genesis to Revelations in chronological order. So if you want to meet us here on an evening, a nightly opportunity to just go through the Bible, this is where you want to be. And I appreciate you for coming. Now, listen, tonight I'm just going to be real brief, but I did definitely want to jump in and just share what we have on this evening. The cities of the Levites, we saw that in Joshua, the 13th chapter, verse 14, 33, Joshua 21, verses 1 through 42. Then we also had First Chronicles, the 6th chapter, 54 and 55, and then 57 through 81. Now, what I really want to focus on tonight is the Lord's faithfulness fulfilled, Joshua 21, verses 43, 45. That's what I'm going to cover on this evening. And then 2.5 tribes sent to their homes east of Jordan, Joshua 22, 1 through 34. Those were the reading passages out of Reese's Chronological Bible. That's what I'm using right now. We're also using Tyndale's for those that are reading from there. So much appreciation for those that have purchased that Bible and are using that as well. I definitely tonight wanted to focus and concentrate on the faithfulness of God. The faithfulness of God. My phone been quiet all night now. I decided to get busy. But nonetheless, it's all good. I want to talk about the faithfulness of God. Those of us, and I know I can say for One Reason, who is forever faithful, forever faithful. And Flirt as well, what I know of my sis as well. Faithful in what God has called you to, but you're also faithful to others. Even as we look at Joshua and how he served Moses as Moses' minister for so many years. If you recall all of this that he did, it just is a sign to us as we talk about this on tonight that I want you to hold on and be faithful. There's a scripture that says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life." And I'm telling you, it is a blessing in just being faithful. I'm reminded of the question that Jesus asked his disciples. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith upon the earth? I don't think that question was only about faith itself, as we talk about as a particular aspect of they have faith. But I think in my summation of that question is included, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faithful folks on the earth? Will he find faithful people in the land? Because if anything, we are living in a time and a season where it seems like it's very difficult for people to be faithful. Whatever segment however you want to divide that up, you just don't find a lot of people that are just good, solid, faithful people. Typically, it depends on what's in it for me, kind of an attitude as to whether or not I'm motivated to be faithful. But at the end of the day, there is a quality about being faithful that it means so much. I cannot overstate it. It to be faithful and to have someone and know someone that's faithful. And even as I said about these two that are in my chat right now, One Reason, Flirt 9192. We're talking about faithful people, truck driver, faithful people, Cassandra, Isaiah, faithful people, all of you that come in on a nightly, faithful people. Not just about coming into this stream, do I mean either. I'm talking about the character of you coming here faithfully is because I know that you're faithful in other areas as well. You're just faithful people. When we think about God and how faithful he is to us, I want us to kind of pause and reflect. Again, think about how long Joshua was faithful to Moses, and think about how God was faithful to the children of Israel. This is where I want to go tonight. Again, I'm in Joshua, the 21st chapter, and this is what I honed in from today's reading. And the Lord gave unto Israel all the land which he sware to give unto their fathers, and they possessed it and dwelt therein. And the Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that he sware unto their fathers. And there stood not a man of all their enemies before them. The Lord delivered all of their enemies into their hand. There failed not aught of any good thing which the Lord had spoken unto the house of Israel. All came to pass. And that's what y'all know, you know, even when every time I read it, y'all. And it came to pass, and listen, and it came to pass, and it shall come to pass. Those are two of my favorite phrases in the Bible, because again, every time you see the manifestation of it, that is like cherry on top, icing on the cake. God is faithful. This beauty of how God, after he had caused them to go in and possess the land, all that they had to do in the way of warfare, all that they had to do in the way of struggle, all they had to do in the way of finding out somebody in the camp has been disobedient, but it impacts all of us. So we have this massive, massive loss after we have this awesome victory of Jericho, the walled city. We go out here and we get, whooped down and sit back with the tail between our legs. Because somebody didn't follow the directions, somebody didn't follow the rules, and we're all paying as a consequence. When you find yourself in different positions, when you're being faithful and it just keeps going on and on and on and on, but you don't give up. As I said, even the story that we have of Ai, the city of Ai, and our brother Achan, go back and find whatever the problem is and make it right, but don't give up. The beauty of what God did in that instance, I'm not going to allow not one enemy to stand before you that you have not defeated. So he sent them right back to the same ones that had defeated them and gave them the victory. So God's going to do that. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. It may not come on the first go round, but I promise you're going to come out with victoriously if you just hold on. You shall reap a harvest of blessings if you faint not. This tonight is the promise to faithful people. And let me say, I feel like it's just so apropos for those that are in here. And I know there's some others that may not be actually in the chat, but they're either listening or going to come back and listen later because something came up. At the end of the day, it's just so apropos that we would have this moment to just pause and remind you how faithful God is going to be to you. The same way it says, every enemy that they came before, God subdued them. I want you to take that word with you. I want you to take that thought with you. I'm going to go back because, again, I'm not going to do a lot of talking on tonight, but I just want to highlight these 3 verses because they're so critical. And the Lord gave unto Israel all the land. Yes, all, A-L-L, those 3 little letters right there. I want you to know God is going to give you all that he has promised you. He gave Israel all the land which he sware to give unto their fathers, and they possessed it and dwelt. Not just possessed it, but dwelt. I'm not just going in and doing the fighting, but I'm going to have an opportunity to enjoy this. And I know sometimes even in our situations, it's like, whoo, Lord, if I ever get there, am I even going to have an opportunity to enjoy it? One of the things that I said, again, I have a sibling that worked for the government. And first she was FAA, then she went to Social Security. And one of the things that was identified, how many times, particularly for people of color, and especially for Black men, did we see they worked all the way until the time of retirement, and then many of them got right to the end of the line, and they either passed away right before they were able to obtain it, or they obtained it but did not get to enjoy it because right after they retired, they died. This is the idea here. Not only are you going to possess it, not only are you going to get to that place of blessing, but you're going to have an opportunity to dwell therein. That's what God is doing in this hour. He's going to not only allow you to possess your blessing and possess your possession, but he's going to also give you an opportunity to enjoy it. For those that might be starting to think, and I have this conversation on a regular with a few of my intimates, as we are all aging, and that sense of wonderment that comes along with the aging process. Man, when I get there, am I going to be able to enjoy it? And sometimes that aging does, I'm not just talking about biological aging, but I'm talking about even in the things that God has promised you and in the things that God has spoken to your heart, in that vision and that desire and that thing that you have been called and want to accomplish. Is it aging? And as it's aging, are you starting to have that same type of concern about, once I get there, am I even going to be able to enjoy it? Or am I going to be so broken down? Am I going to be so this or that and the other thing that comes to mind that may say, oh my God, we possessed it, but we didn't get to dwell therein? I'm telling you what God is doing in this hour. He's going to allow you not only to possess your possession, but he's going to also allow you to dwell therein. And the Lord gave them rest round about, according to all that he sware unto them. It's a beautiful thing when you can finally come into rest for your labor. You understand what I'm saying? And that, even as I go back and reflect on how statistically we find that for so many, by the time they finally retire and get to Social Security, or they finally retire and get to their pension, they do not have that opportunity to just rest and enjoy it. God's going to give you that opportunity where it doesn't always have to be about the grind. It doesn't always have to. I believe there is a joy when you can just sit back and look at what God has put into your hands. I'm friends with the family of Junius Groves. If you don't know that story, Junius Groves was one of the first black millionaires in the United States, and he lived in Edwardsville, Kansas. He was known as the Potato King. I happen to know many of the Groves family and the Groves offspring, and they just recently were given an opportunity to do a PBS special about him. And one of the things that I enjoyed, and one of the things that I really took notice of, he had built a mansion there in Edwardsville. There was a lot of, which ended up being burnt down by the KKK, and, you know, a lot of different things that happened. Ultimately, they believed they were poisoned and so on and so forth. But before all of that came to pass, and this brother, black brother, had amassed all of this wealth, and again, just a beautiful family. I know several of the offspring. I enjoyed PBS's presentation of it because they showed where in old pictures he had made a porch out on the upper level of the mansion. And they said as he got up in age, he would often be seen out there on that patio outside in the upper level of the house, of the mansion, where he could just look out and see what had been created, the lands, the acreage, the people that he employed, the church that he had founded. I mean, he just really created a whole black community within that area, and how he would sit out and just look, you know, as he got again in age. I believe there's a beauty when you can see the fruit of your labors and just enjoy it. Not necessarily have to work it anymore, not necessarily have to go out and be the drive, the mind, the energy, the feet, the mouth. You understand what I'm saying? All the breath. When you can actually just sit back and see what your life has inspired and brought about, and just have that opportunity to look at it, I want you to know God is faithful. So as we look at this and we talk about the rest, the power of rest, and just being able to soak it in and soak it up, if you will. The Lord had delivered all of their enemies into their hand. And then let's look at this last verse. There failed not aught of any good thing. There wasn't any good thing that the Lord had spoken into the house of Israel, all of it came to pass. God is faithful. God is faithful. And so let that encourage your hearts on tonight. Let that encourage your spirit, even though you may, and listen, I know we've come through hard trials, we've come through hard situations, we've come through good times, bad times, we've come through pain, we've come through heartaches, we've come through laughter, we've come through joy, we've come through all of that as we've been on this journey. The one thing I want to leave you with on tonight, even as this passage says, God is faithful. God is faithful, and God will be faithful to you. And that last phrase, all came to pass. All right? I love you. I love you with the love of God. I hope this has helped you on this evening. Trust God that he's going to be faithful to you, beloved. He's going to, one reason, flirt, he's going to be faithful to you. And please believe that last phrase of that line, all came to black. Come on, blessed day. So much love to you, and thank you for being here. So much love, and I appreciate your presence. And your first time chatter, thank you so much. Nothing but mad love to you. The Lion's Den welcomes you here, blessed day. Such a wonderful time having you here. So again, that's the word that I want to speak to you today. That's the word that we had. One of the parts of the scripture that was given this evening for our reading. And that's what I wanted to highlight. And that's what I wanted to emphasize. All came to pass because God is faithful. I love you with the love of the Lord. And listen, I want you all to have a beautiful evening and peace for your journey.